Hello and welcome to the Federal. I have with me former Governor of Meghalaya, Tripura and Arunachal Pradesh, Mr. Tathagata Roy, to discuss the forthcoming West Bengal elections. Mr. Roy is a qualified engineer, former BJP chief in West Bengal, and RSS member. He is an author, an academic, and was a professor at Jadavpur University. Welcome to the show, Mr. Roy.
Thank you very much.
Let's straight away get into the question. In 2016 assembly elections, BJP got one seat in West Bengal. The party since has been consistently growing and getting 38 to 40% vote share in various elections and has become now the principal opposition party. In 2021 assembly, the vote difference between BJP and TMC widened to 10% after coming pretty close in the previous encounters. How do you read the current situation now? How bright you think are the BJP's prospects in the 2026 elections? Can the party unseat Mamata Banerjee, who's now running for her fourth term?
Let me retrospect a little while over the last few elections before I get on to the present subject. You see, West Bengal politics has lately been entirely binary, with the result that apart from the first and second party, the third, fourth, and fifth parties have very little role to play except for splitting votes. So until 2014, BJP was a third party and also ran. But after that, people gradually started getting sick of the CPIM, who had ruled them for 34 years and taken the state practically back to the Stone Age. So they gave Mamata Banerjee a chance in 2011, and Mamata Banerjee did what she did was worse, far worse. Mamata Banerjee, apart from following or copying CPM to the line, to the letter, what she did is to copy them. What she did is she probably decided that if CPM could stay at the wicket for all these years, then why can't I? And therefore, she started following their footsteps, and she completely politicized the police and the administration. Also, there was terrible, terrible corruption in the state. Before that, Mamata Banerjee had an image of being an honest person. There used to be a hoarding around the place where I live in Mamata Banerjee's own constituency, which said that she is the embodiment of honesty. Her partymen, probably out of embarrassment, have now removed that hoarding. So now the position is that Mamata Banerjee has allegations and very substantial allegations with foundation and proof that she is corrupt. Secondly, she is no good for the economic progress of the state. Thirdly, she does absolutely shameless pandering to her Muslim vote bank. Fourthly, she's completely politicized the state administration and the police, as I have already said. People have become disgusted with this, and the result is, let me finish in 30 seconds. People have become disgusted with this, and the result, I am sure you will find in the coming elections on the 4th of August, BJP will romp home and she will be ousted.
Okay. Thank you so much. I thought we'll come to TMC later and first deal with what do you think are how well prepared BJP is. Of course, we'll revert back to the question whenever you want. So in your view, in 2021, post 2021 election, you had pointed out to a number of structural problems in the BJP. you had said that they do not have a strategy. And then you also made allegations that the selection of, the candidates, that's ticket distribution, was, because a lot of incoming people, and you said the incoming garbage, that was exactly your quotes from Trinamool Congress. How do you assess the ticket distribution this time? The two things, therefore, has the ticket distribution is satisfying as far as you are concerned. Second, has BJP now got a strategy?
See, 2021 was a disaster. In the 2021, when BJP stood a very good chance of ousting Trinamool Congress, the people who were put in charge, I don't know why they were put in charge, but the people who were put in charge for running the elections, they did everything possible under the sun to scuttle BJP's chances. You have already mentioned the choice of candidates. That is only one aspect. Apart from that, they did not identify issues. They did not give the essential Bengali flavor. In fact, the people who were here, who were put here by the center, the central BJP, they had no idea of these things. What is Bengali flavor? So they just tried to run this election on the lines of any Hindi-speaking state. They thought that they will sail through. Plus, there was very serious lack of bona fides on the part of these people. I would not like to dwell upon that, except for saying that there was lack of bona fides and they stretched to money and women, both. Fortunately, the people who masterminded that election on behalf of the BJP, they are out now. They are out of the state. They are nowhere near in the picture. On the other hand, this time the BJP is much better organized. It is in the hands of very competent people, people who have experience in running elections. The BJP has appreciated that one needs a Bengali flavor in this thing, and they are trying their best to inject that Bengali flavor. One thing that I'm not very happy with is that I wanted the BJP to project a chief ministerial candidate. BJP, probably in keeping with their trend or trait in other states, they have not done it. But it's fairly clear who the chief minister's candidate is going to be. So considering all these things, the situation this time is very, very favorable. Plus, Mamata's performance during the last 5 years has been worse than the earlier 10 years. So with all that, I am confident that BJP will oust her.
Yeah. So it's very interesting what you're saying, because we have pointed out a number of issues after previous
Yes.
elections. So
Yes.
which means you seem to think that there is a strategy which is in place as far as BJP is concerned. Now, what is
Yes.
the strategy? One, you said that they have understood the local cultural sentiments, and
Yes.
even if they are playing Hindutva politics, they seem to have adjusted to what is required and not copy pasting what they do otherwise in other northern parts of India.
Exactly.
So, what is it? Can you be more specific that the strategy and the approach which they got it right this time in West Bengal?
See, they have identified very clear issues. One very important issue is the Trinamool, that is Mamata Banerjee's pandering to the Muslim vote bank. And in order to do that, admitting Bangladeshi Muslim infiltrators into the state. You'd be surprised to know, or probably you already know, that the BSF have been clamoring for some land for erecting a fencing to prevent the ingress of Bangladeshi infiltrators in the district of Murshidabad, which is a solidly Muslim majority district. Mamata did not give it. with a clear intention, which it is clear to us, clear intention to admit Bangladeshi infiltrators. And that Bangladeshi infiltrators, they are queering up the balance of population in the state, which was in the first place created as a refuge for Bengali Hindus. This is a point that BJP is hammering, and I think it has gone home to the electors. Secondly, the corruption in the state that is so rampant that people are totally disgusted. The three ministers have gone behind the bars, or two ministers and some district functionaries of the Trinamool have gone behind the bars, and now they are out on bail. One of them have been given a ticket, the other has not been given, others have not been given a ticket. But the Trinamool, this is so bad that Trinamool is not even talking about the issue of corruption. The corruption issue is so serious and so apparent that Trinamool is not talking about them. Plus, there is the complete breakdown of law and order, politicization, and among other things, the total lack of any kind of economic progress.
Okay.
During these last few years, I am not exactly sure from when to when, some 6,000 industries have fled from West Bengal.
Okay.
Actually, during the CPIM's, let me just finish. During CPIM's 34 years of rule, the figure was 58,000, which reduced West Bengal from a premier industrial state to a backward agricultural state. Now, Mamata Banerjee, as I said, is following her guru, that is CPIM, and there is no possibility of any entrepreneur coming here. She tries to stage some kind of, welcome to entrepreneurs and investors to come to the state, but that is only for sure, and people have understood that also.
Okay. Thank you so much. You have listed a number of issues, at least 5 to 6 issues. Out of that, let me just pick up 2 issues. The one is there is this entire infiltration of Bangladeshis into West Bengal, which is kind of trying to change the demography and then also pandering to Muslim population. That's one. And the second is you said about the corruption in governance. Now, the corruption issue was picked up by BJP even during the previous elections. That time, of course, it didn't seem to work so much. And again, we saw what happened about the infiltration issue, which was raised very vigorously in Bihar election by BJP. In that sense, you had also the SIR. So I would like you to answer these 2 questions. Is corruption still an issue? And like in the past election, it didn't seem to. And why it has become an issue now? And the second thing is, how much SIR you think is impacting this election?
First thing, is corruption an issue still? It is very much an issue, and a lot of corruption has taken place during the last 5 years. As I said, 2 ministers and 2 district functionaries, leading district functionaries of the Trinamool Congress, they have gone to jail and now they're out on bail. So corruption is very much an issue, and it is such an issue. In reply to it, Trinamool is just hard put. They don't know what to say. So they are just avoiding the issue. You will not find a single utterance of any Trinamool Congress leader about this allegation of corruption. What they have, the education minister of the state was found, he has a girlfriend. In that girlfriend house, some 54 or 55 crores of rupees in cash was found. And it is photographed. It was found not by Mamata's police, but it was found by central agencies. I think ED or CBI. And then it has been photographed. So the Trinamool has nothing to say. And this is a very major issue. People are not getting jobs, and those who had been offered jobs, it had subsequently been found by the Supreme Court and High Court that these jobs had been got by bribing, and the thing is not working. So corruption, to answer your first question, corruption is very much an issue. What was your second question again?
The second question was about SIR. How much is SIR
SIR, yes,
impact to the
I get it,
election?
I get it. Yes. SIR is a thing which needed to be done. The last time SIR was done in the state was in 2002. And nobody remembers it because it was done quietly. Nothing happened. Then SIR this time is being done in all the states which are facing elections. But nowhere there is such a lot of hullabaloo as Mamata Banerjee is doing about this SIR. And she is calling the election commission all kinds of names. I mean, it's a very disgusting kind of names. The words that she has used in Bengali are profane, are it is very difficult to imagine any person, whether pro BJP, anti BJP, or whatever, to use such language, and that to a lady, using such language against a hallowed institution like the Election Commission. Election Commission is a constitutional body. The constitutional body entrusted with the conduct of elections. They are supposed to be neutral, and Mamata Banerjee does not have an iota of proof against them. She just goes on spewing these allegations. So this indicates that whatever has been done, this SIR has been done, has has really succeeded in weeding out a very substantial number of the Bangladeshi infiltrators, not just them, but dead voters, duplicate voters, spooky voters, and Rohingya voters, Bangladeshi voters, all kinds of things. In fact, the first result of the SIR, which excluded 58 lakhs, was mainly for dead voters, spooky voters, and Bangladeshi voters. And it was so palpable that Trinamool was not able to say a thing about it. They are now shouting themselves hoarse about the subsequent bouts of SIR, because now Bangladeshi infiltrators have been affected to a larger extent.
Okay. So, SIR, you are saying, has been pretty successful. And since you mentioned Election Commission and you said it's a hallowed institution and has done a splendid job. Now, the question, therefore, I'll come to SEOs, the Election Commission too. Now, here, if you look at 91 lakh voters have been removed from the voters list. So, of course, like that could include people who are dead, those who are shifted, those kind of things are also there, admitted. That is the job
Out
of
of them,
SAR, which they've
no,
probably
out of
done.
them, let me just interject. Out of this 90 lakhs of people who have been excluded, some 58 lakhs are mostly dead voters, spooky voters, absent voters, and that kind of duplicate voters, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So let me just allow me to complete the question.
Yes, yes,
Now,
please.
beyond that, if you go, there are 22 to 28, 27 lakh people still pending whose cases have not yet been adjudicated, which means
Yes.
they are saying we have got the documents, we need to be given a chance. But then since the election process has started, they haven't got, and therefore they may not be able to vote. Now, what happens to the Election Commission's own constant slogan, which says that no single voter should be left out? It's like this. Do you think that these voters who are to prove their case, education process is not yet over, they have been not allowed to vote. In a way, they don't have a vote this time, disenfranchised. Do you think this is a fair election in that sense?
See, there is a very serious question of facts over there. I am not privy to those facts. They are saying that they have the necessary papers. Whether they do have the papers or not, it is only the Election Commission who can verify. So that question, in truth, can really be answered by the Election Commission. And I find no reason to doubt the veracity or the findings of the election, what the Election Commission have said about it.
Yeah, so the former chief election commissioner, uh, you know, he has said it in I'm quoting Qureshi, in an interview, he said that if this process is not completed, then they could have reverted to the old electoral list and admitted them. That would have been a better way of handling than allowing even one voter who could be innocent. It is possible out of this 22 lakh, even there is numerically something wrong about it. Even if one voter is left out, isn't a kind of injustice to him or her that they're not being allowed to participate in a democratic exercise?
With great respect to Mr. Qureshi, I will submit that I do not agree with him. It is quite correct that one voter should not be left out in a democratic exercise. But is it correct that as many as 58 lakhs of voters whose exclusion is not seriously challenged are included so that the entire result of the election becomes spurious? There 58 lakhs who were initially found to be duplicate voters, dead voters, and all that, their exclusion has not been seriously challenged. So I don't know what Mr. Qureshi would have to say about this, but I think that that is a worse danger to democracy than one or two voters here and there having necessary papers and not being allowed to vote.
Okay, so I understand, but see, the exclusion of voters, those who are dead and all, is a process that must be done, and that's why how even in the summary revision that exercise is done. We'll shift to the next question because you're disagreeing with what Dr. Qureshi is saying. Let's now
Yes.
go to BJP again. West Bengal has about 80,000 polling booths. Does the BJP
Yes.
have enough boots on the ground to manage them? One of the problems with BJP in Bengal has been its weakness at grassroots level. What has it done since 2021 to fix that problem?
There is certainly an organizational problem in the BJP. And part of the organizational problem is due to the fact that the Trinamool Congress has run such a reign of terror all over the state, particularly by politicizing the police and the administration, that people who are mentally support BJP, they are afraid to say so out loud, come out in the open. This has been my personal experience, and this has been said all over. And this is one of the principal reasons why people have not flocked to the BJP to the extent that they should have. You see, the last elections, the 2021 elections, as I said, were watched up by some people in the BJP itself. And to get rid of those people and to get rid of their influence took some time, say another 2, 3 years. And the election machinery for 2026, I would say, was properly put in place only around 2024. So there was a time constraint. There was a constraint from the matter of politicization that, as I have already mentioned, plus the fact that this is the first time when BJP is hoping to come to power, also has a part to play.
Okay. Now I'll come to the next question. You seem to suggest that the BJP has got its act together this time. They, seem to have covered almost all grounds. But I
Yes.
come back specifically to one issue which you have been raising. You said it in your intro also, that the overwhelming focus of Hindutva hasn't worked in the state in the past, in the sense that it had a different flavor. Has it now got the West Bengal flavor as you wanted? And what is that? Can you explain that?
Hindutva and West Bengal flavor are not necessarily the same. They have some common features. See, West Bengal, the state of West Bengal was created by the efforts of Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee in 1947 when Congress decided to, Congress agreed to partition the country as Jinnah had demanded. Then Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee had said that if you are going to partition India, you must also partition Bengal so that Bengali Hindus do not become a part of an Islamic republic and treated as dhimmis. Jinnah tried very hard to combat that, but Dr. Mukherjee's efforts scuttled Jinnah's scheme and West Bengal was created. This fact should have been brought to the notice of the people over the years by the BJP. Unfortunately, after the death of Death, or I would say murder, after the murder of Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee in 1953, the state BJP has not had a very outstanding leader anywhere near him. So as a result of that, this thing was not properly projected. This thing came to be projected only around 2000, only around the turn of the century when Atal Bihari Vajpayee became the prime minister. And gradually it dawned on people that it is important that to understand that the state was created for the sake of Bengali Hindus and it ought to be kept that way, or else it will merge with Bangladesh or it will become another Bangladesh. I'm sure you are aware of what kind of torture and persecution Hindus are undergoing in Bangladesh right now. Their percentage, which was 29% in 1947, has now come down to some 7% or 8%. And this would be the fate of Hindus in West Bengal also, if Trinamool or other parties are allowed to function the way they are. So this thing is, and another thing is that since the 1930s, the Bengali psyche has been Bengali Hindu psyche has been dominated by left thinking, and the anti-left principal anti-left party, that is Congress, they had done nothing about it. So as a result of that anti-left psyche, it made people think that it put it in their sort of DNA that it is a sin to think about Hindus. But now it is dawning on people. It has dawned some years back on people that that is not so. For our sheer survival, we Bengali Hindus must stand up and defend themselves.
Okay. You pointed about West Bengal, situation in West Bengal in the context of Bangladesh. I'll
Yes.
just touch upon it and I'll go to next question. But the thing here is that there, and the result showed up, extreme Islamic forces there, of course, didn't win the election. It's actually the moderate and seem to be more secular, positioning, which is seem to have been gaining ground there, at least in the elections. And therefore, I don't know how much of your worry about a similar, saying that there could be a fear of Islamic thing here holds true in West Bengal. Anyway, I'll come back to, since you are saying that almost all grounds are now covered by BJP, whether it is organizational, issue or a strategy or, boots on the ground on almost all the issue, you seem to be very positive about the BJP's prospects in the 2026 assembly election. Can you put a number to that? How many seats you think BJP will ultimately win? And now, will it really prevent Mamata coming to power for the next term?
Amit Shah ji has put a target of 170. I think that is a very reasonable target. It could even be exceeded because this time there is going to be a sea change. That is what my report say. Apart from this, the question of Bangladesh that you were mentioning, that you are under the impression that the current elections in Bangladesh have sidelined the Islamist parties and brought in more secular party to power. Do not delude yourself. The most secular party in Bangladesh is solidly anti-Hindu, the most secular party, and not to speak about Islamist parties. You will be, if you study the pattern of the pattern of voting in different constituencies, Bangladesh. I do because I am a very avid Bangladesh watcher, particularly for the sake of Hindus. If you study that thing, you will find that all the districts, all the constituencies, almost all the constituencies bordering West Bengal in Bangladesh have been won by the Islamist parties. And there is a reason that there is their being there helps infiltration, their being there helps the pushing out of Hindus, murder of Hindus. So it is not quite correct to say that because the relatively secular party has come to power in Bangladesh, that is any reason for us being comfortable about that country.
Dr. Roy, since you seem to be very positive on saying that, Amit Shah's target of about 170 seats is achievable, one last question. Who would you like to see as a chief minister? Who would be your chief ministerial face? Your own choice.
I have been very explicit about that over the last several months on social media. I am strongly of the opinion that it should be Subhendu Adhikari. Subhendu Adhikari is the most active leader in the BJP, and above everything else, or rather not above everything else, but among other things, he had defeated Mamata Banerjee herself in the 2021 elections in Nandigram. So this time, he's once again running against Mamata Banerjee, and he's also running from Nandigram. So considering everything, I think Subhendu Adhikari should be the best choice.
Thanks. But, there is one fact. This is a survey. I don't know how much it is true. That apparently in Nandigram, in the recent SAR, 95.4% of those people whose names have been eliminated belong to minority community. Though the 2021 electorate shows that the population of Muslims in Nandigram is 26%. Thank you so much. I don't know how much impact it will have. Thank you so much, Dr. Roy.